Yeah, Silent Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W. Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. Hey. L Boogie with the hot flame, ashtray full of top names, little tree for your membrane. This the 9-hour time frame. I just snatched up a 6-pack, got my hands on a lid pack, whipping up a little batch of snacks. Yeah, man, I think I'm all set. Late night, can't sleep. Go ahead and just tap in. Better grab you a cold one, and we about to get some laps in. Wild card on the microphone, he'll hit you with a couple flurries. Y'all need to just strap in for some entertainment sports commentary. About to raise the bar, wild card bar. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk, Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card bar, we about to raise the bar. Wild card bar.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what it is. Your man, Wildcard Mar, back in the building. My man, Randy Weber, back in the building. It's Taco Tuesday. How you doing, Randy? What's good, man?
Doing good. Doing good. My team has the best quarterback in preseason. One of the greatest preseason runs in NFL history. I'm feeling great. I was actually at the game against the Patriots where we blew them out.
Nice.
And it was very nice. $7 a ticket. Can't beat that.
You'll never get a damn ticket in East Rutherford, New Jersey, that price in the regular season. So, hey, get it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, that's good to hear. I hope you had fun, man. Hey, look, I don't know if he's your long-term answer. But he did put up a nice little. He put up some good film preseason. So I can't hate what he did. Can't hate what he did at all. And you know, funny that you say that. We'll obviously talk about other NFL teams that made some QB decisions. You know, whether it was trade or releasing of somebody, but kind of help form their quarterback positions. We'll definitely talk about that. And then Terry McLaurin, finally got his bag, as rightfully so. And then, not only him, but Trey Hendrickson brings to an end of a holdout between him and the Bengals, a little restructuring of the thing. But I'm actually kind of looking at that signing a little bit different. We'll get into, more in depth about that. But who didn't get paid? This guy in Dallas that still ain't got paid. So that's something we'll kind of tap into. But I want to throw a surprise topic at you real quick. And it's kind of sports related, in a way. And you kind of inspired it, this topic I wanted to kind of throw. And I'm just going to, I've been holding this to, to the vest. But I kind of just wanted to bring this because I've been seeing a lot of opinions and whatnot about it. But you posted something in the BWO today, Randy, and I was like, all right, we're going to talk about it. Fuck it. All right.
So, I had a feeling once you said that.
All right. So
right. Yeah,
I'm just going to lay this out, and then I'll let you kind of pick at what I'm about to say. All right, so let's start with the chain of events. All right, so obviously Roger Jackson, son of Rampage, quit Rampage Jackson, MMA fighter. So he's a trained MMA fighter as well. All right. Obviously, me and Randy are both wrestling fans, and sometimes when you mix those two worlds, is there's going to be a learning curve, and you actually have to be in it to understand it if you're coming from the MMA world to the wrestling world. This is an indie promotion. I can't remember the name, so forgive me about it. Y'all seen the video. I'm not gonna post it. All right, so set off the anger for him. He got hit over the head with a beer can, and obviously this guy never done nothing like this. So and I get it. Then they showed the video. They handshake, squashed it, apologized. Cool, I understand that. But the video that you posted today, and where the other wrestlers kind of say, "Oh man, I could find a way to get your get back," and literally the language he is used to, so you can fuck him up. That's the language he used. All right, and later as the video ends, the guy that ended up getting receiving the beat, he kind of shakes his hand too, and it almost kind of looked like it was understanding that this spot that they call it was going to happen. But when you give a guy that has no wrestling background at all, and before anybody jumps in the comments or jump in my DMs, I am not condoning for what Raja did. Right? Did he take it too far? Absolutely. But if there's going to be like charges dropped on him, and probably might be, I'm just saying, if I'm a defense lawyer, I'm playing this clip where it says you're giving a guy that just got totally disrespected out of nowhere. And I understand the apology part, but if you say, "Hey, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to fuck him up," and you word it that way, and I'm kind of like, so just kind of follow my theory. Like, I'm not saying he deserved what Roger did. He can control how far he went. But what I'm saying is, you give a guy that has no training in wrestling whatsoever, he felt totally disrespected. You're giving him an opportunity, in the way that you word it. Again, I'm not absolving what Raja did, but I'm not thinking he's 100% at fault for this situation, because it could have been avoided. And I'll let you have at it, but I was just like, there's a lot, because obviously day by day, there's just more information that's just getting leaked out, and I'm like, this is for a reason. And like, I don't, am I reaching? You can tell me where I'm wrong, you can tell me where I'm right. I'm just kind of like, I don't know if Roger's 100% at fault for what happened, the result of what the guy did. I don't know.
So I'll agree that he's not 100% at fault. I'll agree that lots of people involved in this have fault in this, for sure. For one, the promo segment or whatever they were doing for the build where he hit him with the beer can, first of all, you communicate that before you do it. I don't know why you're doing that without him expecting it or knowing it. Especially, you would do that with an experienced wrestler, let alone someone who's not a wrestler. Like, this is the real fighter, and you're just hitting him with a beer can without him expecting it.
Yeah.
Does nearly killing the guy, is that a warranted response to that on its own? No, obviously.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially because he apologized and shook his hand and squashed it afterwards. I think maybe if that hadn't happened, I'd be a little less sympathetic. But Raja was aware that, like, he was just doing it to build up the match before he nearly killed him. Now, Raja said beforehand, like, that he was gonna fuck him up, and then they had that whole conversation where he's like, "You're gonna get your lick back," like you said. I think it's reasonable to believe, based off of what we saw, which may not be everything.
Mm-hmm.
He thought that he was actually being allowed to beat him up, and that Raja didn't know he was expected to work from that point, because it wasn't really clear. I mean, you could tell how dysfunctional everything was by the fact that the guy pinned him afterwards. Which I was almost on the floor at that part of the video. Mance crawls over him and pins him.
Yeah, it still gets, and I'm just like this is really some, like, in the way that you word it. Like, I've seen other indie promotions function in a more professional manner than what that was ran in that situation. And I think they was trying to have a publicity moment, because obviously Roger Jackson and Rampage, they've been starting to get some buzz doing their live streams and whatnot as a father-son duo. And obviously, you know, it comes off the fact that it is Quentin Rampage Jackson. So, you know, he's starting to get some buzz just by bloodline association. And I get that. And so maybe that any promotion thought it would just be something to help them promote and get some, you know, views and get some love and hopefully start filling up them bingo halls. And okay, I understand. So it's just, I think they failed that wrestler. I think they failed him by putting him in that situation like that. It didn't help with the smashing of the beer can over Roger's head. And like I said, I'm not absolving him for the result of what it did. I also kind of thought, you know, even Quentin said he had no business being in there. He just had a concussion. And then, you know, I thought maybe he not right in the head and was reading the comments of the live chat, talking shit and egging him on. And I think that kind of played a part into it too. So there's a line that, yeah, he didn't have to nearly flatline the guy. Like, but
as a wrestling company, you have a responsibility if you're putting anyone in the ring to very clearly communicate what people are supposed to be doing, especially with an outsider. Exactly. So saying you're going to get your lick back, you're going to fuck them up, but not being clear as to what that means. Like, you get a shot, right? Like Brock Lesnar Braun Strowman match where they had like Braun accidentally hit him and Brock punched him back, and then they continued the match. Yeah, and I mean, like, there have been so many examples of wrestlers doing that. That's fine. That's totally legitimate. Mm-hmm. But if you tell him you can fuck him up, you don't specify what that means. You've already hit him over the head with a beer can without him expecting it. Yes, you apologized. So I think the wrestler that did it did enough that he's not at fault anymore because he apologized and made it clear beforehand. Yeah,
he's like, I didn't know.
Yeah. Had he not done that, I would consider him more at fault. But by that point, Roger was enough on notice that there was no reason to retaliate. But the company is also partially at fault for essentially egging him on to kick his ass. Also waiting as long as they did before intervening. Man threw, I think it was 29 punches before wrestlers picked him up and got him off the guy.
That's why I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Y'all know that on this show we connect dots. I'm just saying that was kind of odd too. Like, you know, get a couple in, because once you see them that they are actually connecting, especially he was connecting from the get-go. So
yeah, the ref was right there looking close at it. Like, call something. Like, after like punch 2 or 3, like, get someone in there.
Oh, just pull. Like, I've seen referees literally run and tackle the person that's throwing the punches. Just tackle them or get them off of them.
And you can make a kayfabe justification for that. He's not supposed to be in the match, right? Like, you can sell that as part of the show.
Exactly. So I thought that was a little. When you run rinky dink, you get rinky dink results. I think they failed their wrestler. They did.
Yes,
they failed him big time.
But also, to make clear, Raja's not completely absolved from it because he knew especially as a professional fighter, you know that at that point you've already concussed him with that slam. He should have known that he concussed him with that slam. Yeah, he should have known that those punches were
back to the slam. He couldn't even put his back to the slam. I'm with you.
Exactly. You know he's not defending himself. Like, you should have known, like, okay, you can kill him at this point. So if you're mad about the beer can, which is understandable, although he apologized, so it's not that it's not to the point where this was warranted anyway after the apology. But if you want to get a lick back, that's fine. But you know you're about to kill this guy. Like, Raja knows enough to know that he was going to. So he's also at fault. The company's at fault. He's at fault. I think the wrestler is at some fault for hitting him with the beer can without telling him he was going to. But he's at the least fault.
Head for saying that.
What?
People jumped on Mark Henry's head for saying that the wrestler, the guy that unfortunately that's in the hospital, that he needs to take some little bit of a blame for this too, because he said look, you're a veteran. What do you like? Hey, I know it's an indie promotion, but like, you should still know like how to, certain decorum. Have some decorum.
You even think about that like as just like a guy, right? Like if some random dude with no explanation hits you with a beer can when you don't expect it and you get physical with him, like yeah, he may have just been fucking around or may have been part of like a prank or whatever, but like it's not on you to decipher what's going on in his head when he's hitting you with a beer can, right? Like he needs to communicate that with you beforehand and get your consent.
I hear you. So there's enough to go around. I've been seeing a lot of the discourse online. I'm just like, there's a lot of elements to this thing of wrong that just shouldn't happen, and it could have been avoided, and people who just communicated in that situation. But
yeah, and based off Rampage's comments, it does also seem like, I mean, obviously by nature of being a fighter, you're to some degree violent, right? Apparently, it's known that Raj is a hothead and has a violent past. So that also, in addition, puts some responsibility both on him and the company and everyone involved, because this is a guy you should know you don't want to piss off, and you don't want to give and the expectation that you're starting a fight with him. But that also means he should know to calm down, because apparently this has been an issue for him in the past. But I don't know the details of that. I just know Rampage seems to have suggested that. He said that he had a fund that was just for bail because he didn't expect him to go to college. Like if you know that kind of stuff about your son, you know, that must mean that there's been some past with him, but I don't know the details of it.
We'll see. But let's get to some NFL talk. I just wanted to talk about that because I was like, I thought that was interesting when you posted that. So and I think it kind of creates a little debate, or at least a context on everything in this situation. But let's talk about this. Man, scary money. Yeah, Scary Terry finally gets paid. I don't know what what was going on. What did he not just want to go through training camp? If that's the case, you know, shout out to my man Chris Dye. He's like, nah, man, that man just didn't want to do training camp. Hey, if that's the case, so be it. But he got paid and well, handsomely, 3 years, 96 million. That puts him in the top 10 financial bracket of wide receivers. I think that puts him 8th that I saw. I think it's well deserved. If you want to even come close to recreating, getting back to the NFC Championship game, he has to be there. So that was obvious.
For sure.
What's your thoughts, man? Let's talk about Scary Terry getting the bag.
So apparently they were using DK Metcalf's contract as the comparison piece. Like, I'm at least as good as DK Metcalf, so I should be making at least this much, which I think is fair. There are a lot of comparisons there. He's now, it wasn't really the case in Seattle, but now he's the team's only weapon, which is the same position McLaurin's in. They're both a little bit on the older side, and I would say that they're both fringe top 10 wide receivers, give or take, top 8 to 12 range. So I think that was a fair comparison for him to make. Obviously, I think that, as a Giants fan, I wish they hadn't, but they did. And it was the right move. Of course, it was the right move. He's the only other good player on the team aside from Jaden Daniels. And also, they, unlike most of the teams that have quarterbacks on their rookie deals, a lot of their contracts are old vet minimums, both on the offensive side and the defensive side. They have a lot of people on fairly cheap deals because a lot of them are very old. You have the money. Like, I don't understand. It's not in a situation where like you're figuring out cap space. You have a quarterback on a rookie deal, who's going to be on a rookie deal for the next 3 years, and you have so many of your players that are on like vet minimums. You can pay your consistent best player throughout the past almost. I mean, I don't know how long he's been in the league. Like,
Now he's
7
been there. He's been there for 6 years, and
Yeah.
yeah,
He was the best player on the team all 6 of those years.
yeah.
Pay him.
No, and for my stats heads, and just to back up with stats on why he's so important. You're talking about 5 straight seasons that he's hit 1,000 yards. In his rookie season, just missed 1,000 yards, really, by only 81 yards. So he's going to get the catches. He's going to get the yards. Obviously, if you're saying the knock is, besides his rookie season and last year, he's not eclipsing no more than 5 touchdowns. Hey, if that's your argument, by all means. But 13 TDs last year, 7 his rookie, and then in between that, you got a couple of 4s and a couple of 5s. Hey, when you're the number 1 threat, people are going to game plan you. So that's their job is to keep you out the end zone. I get what you're saying. Somebody's going to, rebuttal. Hey, the greats get into the end zone. I understand that. I hear that.
Yeah. And also, go ahead.
No, I also got to remind you, he only had a competent quarterback till last year.
Right. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, also, so he wasn't the best player for all 6 years. He was the best player for 5 years. Jaden Daniels was the best last year, but I forgot to include him there. But I mean that matters, right? Like when Sam Howell is throwing to you, then you're dependent on how many touchdown passes he's throwing.
Yeah, Taylor Heineke,
Taylor Heineke, yeah.
Quarterback, and like you said, Sam Howell, and obviously Sam Howell can't even make another team. So come on, like,
yeah, exactly, right. Like these, especially receiver stats, more than maybe any other position, are very dependent on other people. Mm-hmm. So in the case of Terry McLaurin, the fact that he's been as QB proof as he's been is a testament to how high his floor is. So he may not have like the same touchdown numbers. Well, who's throwing those touchdowns to him? Like, it's not. Like, I don't think that's a fair comparison. I agree. I think he will see more touchdowns now with Jaden Daniels, and the fact that he is still really their only consistent, reliable weapon. I don't think Debo is going to compete with him on that. And there's nobody else on the team that's going to compete with him on that. So he's going to get more volume and better throws.
If anything, Debo's about to reap the rewards of being next to Terry on the other side.
Yes, for sure. We'll see how they use him too. We'll see if they use him as that kind of like running back, wide receiver, gadget player that San Francisco did. We can, that could be an interesting element too.
Now, I hear that. But if anything, it's the other way around. That team is not going to be as good without Terry. So that's why you had to get the deal done, because you have a whole bunch of, I don't know what you got if you don't have Terry. So, and he's durable. He's not missing a lot of games. I played 14 in his rookie year, 15, and then after that, he's played all 17 games for the last 4 years. So durable. So you can rely on him. That's one thing that you can do. So deserved of every last damn dime. Hey, I'll be honest. If they weren't gonna pay the man, he would have got. I think there'd have been some trade value for him for sure. I don't know if you're talking about multiple ones, but nice, second rounder. I would.
Yeah, a player or two and a second rounder, give or take. I think there are teams that are wide receiver needy enough. You could like the Chargers or the Broncos, the Patriots. Those are teams that would absolutely jump at that opportunity.
Oh yeah, definitely the Patriots. Because imagine if they would have said, "Hey man, let's put you next to Stephon Diggs and see what happens." Just saying. Hey, if we really love Drake May, let's give you more weapons. Let's see what happens. I give you not only still productive wide receivers in their later stage, but veterans. Like you said, fringe top 10 in Terry, and then you can have the debate. And there was a point in time Stephon Diggs was a top 10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where people kind of see him at now. I guess we could have
definitely not top 10 anymore.
Yeah.
But if he's on the field, potential top 20. So if you get like a fringe top 15-ish guy with a potential top 20 guy when he's healthy, it's a better receiver core than the Patriots have had in a pretty long time, and they can afford it because they have, I think, still the most money of any team in the NFL with a quarterback on a rookie deal. Yeah, and that's also why I said the Broncos too, because they also have a quarterback on a rookie deal, and they don't have a lot of guys that are on huge contracts. So, their biggest need is receiver. So I think that also would be a really nice fit if someone were to trade him. But we'll never know now because Washington did what the Cowboys are not going to do, or not. They haven't done so far. We'll see if they're going to do it. I hope they don't.
I bet you don't. As a Giants fan, and that let's talk about that. A good segue as hey, what are you making of this whole saga with Micah Parsons trying to seek a big contract from Jared Jones and just the whole saga in general? Because Jared is going to do what he does. He's going to open his mouth. So, what you make of this?
So, I do think he's ultimately going to end up paying him. I know that I would love if he didn't, but I'm sure he's going to because we had the same thing with Dak. We had the same thing with CD. So I think that's how this is going to end too. The whole thing is a lot of it makes a lot of sense that Jerry Jones said what he said about how he sees the Cowboys and he wants the offseason to be a drama that people follow, because that does seem to be a partial motivator for this. It is also just his style, clearly, although I don't really understand the logic of the style, because unless you're willing to not pay him, all you're doing is pissing him off and making him want to leave, which doesn't seem to... And you're also going to end up paying him more now, right? Like, because now he's not going to bite at the same number he would have at the beginning. Other people are getting paid during this time period. Trey Hendrickson just got paid. So now that's another contract Micah can point to that you would have been able to avoid if you had paid him earlier. So, first of all, there's also the element of Jerry Jones. What he did technically is a violation of the collective bargaining rules of the NFL. He spoke to him and negotiated with him without his agent, which he's not allowed to do. And now he has this whole time been trying to keep him binded to that agreement when we don't even know if it was really a firm agreement in the first place. He said that he doesn't want to talk to his agent. He has nothing to talk about him to except to get the legalese out of the way and write the deal that they had agreed to. And all you're doing, especially with us knowing you're going to end up paying him, is you're pushing him away. You're probably going to spend more money. You're probably going to get less effort from him because you've pissed him off so much this whole time. You might get him sitting games depending on how long you wait. I don't see the logic of it unless they are willing to trade him to get a haul for the areas that they need, mainly defense, O-line, running back. If they were to trade him for a grouping of players and picks, maybe a team like, I know Baltimore is on the list of teams that people are speculating would be a trade destination. I think that would be a really good move. But unless you're willing to do that, I don't see the benefit of this. Your defense sucked with him on the field, and you lost DeMarcus Lawrence in offseason. If you lose Micah too, you're going to end up with one of the worst defenses in the NFL and also the worst running back room in the NFL and a suspect O-line. Good luck with that. And Dak coming off of a really brutal injury.
Yeah. I'm not surprised that any of this is happening. I'm just being honest. And Cowboys fans, they're probably used to it, so they're numb to it. But as sports fans, like, it really put it in perspective about Jerry Jones when I watched that documentary on Netflix. And if you haven't checked it out, check it out, because it really puts a perspective on who Jerry is and how he operates. All right. Look, he's a good old Arkansas boy. All right. That's what he is to the heart, and that's how he still operates. And he don't care. He literally did an interview. No, I'm just gonna hire Jimmy Johnson. He's just gonna do what the hell he wants to do. So the fact that he talked to Mike without his agent, I'm not surprised. And so where he violated some, he don't care. People believe it or not, Jerry got a lot of pull behind the scenes.
Oh, I'm sure.
He got a lot of pull when it comes to influencing not only his team but the NFL. He has some pull, and because the fact that every move that he is doing is not about football, and we know this, and made it clear if you watch the documentary. This man is about the business thing. Made sure that it's going to stay in the family by hiring all of his family. Nearly fired everybody as soon as he came in. Tex Shrimp, gone. Tom Landry, yeah, y'all know that name? Gone. Get out of here. And it paid off in the beginning. But he said in the documentary, my imagination of my image of what I wanted to make the Cowboys was entertainment. And he is going to go about getting it in any kind of way. And here we are, talking about Jerry Jones and Micah having a little soap opera. And that's exactly what this is. Now, there are some truths to what he's saying. He's like, hey, sometimes, hey, I pay these guys, they're not guaranteed to be around. He got bit by Dak for that. All right. So, I mean, these billionaires stay rich by keeping money in the pocket. And look, he'll pay them. And I totally hear you about, hey, obviously, if I'm Micah Parsons, today's price, it ain't the same for what it was when we first started. Like, see, I understand that. I'm with you on that. And he's going to end up coming out a lot more. But Jerry's so arrogant and he's confident because he's made such a cash cow. He already has the Cowboys already valued the highest sports entity in the world. Damn near, especially in the NFL, at what I think valued at like damn near $13 billion. He's looking at whatever that little pennies of between 10 million of more than I gotta pay. I make that back and then some. I'm not stressing about losing that money. He's a gambler. He's a risker. He don't care. And more times than not, it's worked out in his favor because he's got this team valued at way high.
12.8 billion, by the way.
Yeah, 12.8 billion. So damn near 13. So he don't care.
Yeah, no, that value is not coming off of Super Bowls. Like it's not coming off of winning.
And you're right. And I trust me,
not coming off of making conference championships.
I hear you, and I'm 100% with you when it comes to the actual foundation, which is the football part. I'm with you.
Yeah,
man knows the business part, and that's why when you go, if you're drafted on that team, like that's one thing, and he was drafted to that team, so you got to kind of like understand that culture, and that's just what it is. Like when you sign there, you're asking to join that circus.
Yes. No, that's true. That's true. So I do think he's going to end up getting paid, but I do think it's going to be more like
it is.
You just said. And I don't think that's going to benefit the Cowboys team. But if you got some extra clicks and views from this, then, maybe that'll help the value of the team somehow.
Randy, he overpaid for that.
Yeah. Oh, dramatically. He's one of the worst contracts in NFL history.
So we can't be surprised that this is going to be and
this is for someone who's the business guy, the one who's like the businessman. And granted, the results of the value of the Cowboys speak for themselves, but these contract deals are not good business. he's not handling it in the most optimal way. And, he's not the only one, but he's costing himself more money. It doesn't really make any sense.
I hear you.
At least from my perspective, it doesn't seem like it makes any sense.
I hear you, but he feels he got the right pieces and play the right parts of his soap opera. And why change the cast up? And it's not necessary yet. I could change the coverage. I could change the director of my soap opera, but the cast is doing their thing. Let's be honest, Micah Parsons is definitely gonna get paid because he fits the circus very well, especially that little footage that got leaked when he was out there in Penn State doing that little dance show. Yeah, yeah, you like a cowboy cheerleader, bro.
Yep.
That's neither here nor there. But yeah, man, he's gonna get paid. And don't be surprised if he does the same circus next Thursday, or a day or two before it. He'll be there week 1. Because if you think you're gonna go against Philly without Micah Parsons, I mean, you're not gonna win that game regardless. But you want to at least make it look good because that's the hook and bait that he does with his fan base. That's how we hung in there with the Eagles in week 1 on prime time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's gonna be what they hold on to as they lose and lose.
Yeah. It's the start of that cycle that they go through every year. The hope build up. Oh, we got hope. We hung in there with the Super Bowl champions. We got a chance. We'll definitely get them when they come to Texas.
This could legitimately be the worst Cowboys team. I mean, last year because Dak got injured and they had to start Cooper Rush, it was very bad. This year could potentially be even worse for all the reasons that I said. This could be the worst Cowboys team of the Dak era that's coming up. A lot of things are really out of order there. So, we'll see if anyone gets disillusioned, but knowing Cowboys fans, no, they won't.
Hey, I'm trying to tell you that vicious cycle that they keep going through, and Jerry knows how to keep them on that hook and bait. It's almost like, hey, it's their version of loving hip hop, and they got that niche, and they just love it, and they just keep buying into it.
Yeah.
Into the outside world, like, yo, why you watch that crap, bro? Anyway, now he'll get paid, but he didn't get paid yet. But in a strange way, I understand why they did it. Trey Hendrickson finally gets to pay. They pretty much just gave him a 1-year deal with $14 million more, so he's at $30 million. So how are you feeling about this contract and just your overall thoughts about the whole back and forth and beef that they were having?
So they had to get him on the team again because he's the only good defensive player they have. And that defense could go from a bottom 5 defense to a bottom 1 defense if he's gone. So that it was really important to get him there if they're going to do anything at all, unless they were going to, trade him for a haul of defensive pieces or something. But that was unlikely. Teams that have that probably wouldn't be looking to trade from in the first place, whatever. I think that was a good, cheap way. If you have so much money tied into 3 players already, and they're not in the best cap position, I believe, if you're trying to get him to play for you this next season, a relatively cheap way to do it. I still think that they should have reversed what they did with him and T. Higgins. But I think getting him for another $14 million for this year, they got him. They got him for not that much more. The issue now is that what are you doing next year? Next year's contract is going to be worse than this year's would have. You're just kicking a can down the road unless you're willing to trade him And if you're not, what are you doing?
I was thinking the same thing, and I looked at it this way too. You pretty much got and I hate to word it like that, but almost got control of them. So think about it this way: if you're the Mike Brown, and you know how he operates, he's a wacko, and he's frugal, and that's not the right word. That motherfucker cheap, all right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All right. And it took literally Joe Burrow to pound the table and have a conversation with him and actually go through the media to get the message to him. Say, hey, let's get my guys paid. T, get him paid. Jamar, pay him. He made Jamar Chase highest paid wide receiver. T. Higgins put him in the top 10 as well as paid wide receivers. And Joe Burrow is happy now.
And that is also probably why T was paid before Trey, because I think that considering what Cincinnati overall looks like, what its strengths and weaknesses are, and just general, you pay your best pass rusher before you pay your second best wide receiver, typically. But I do think that the Joe Burrow campaign for T definitely helped push him to the front of the line.
Mm-hmm. Keep my quarterback happy. Like, he's cheap, but he's smart on that part. I don't understand why he still hasn't built Fort Knox in the full line yet to make sure he protects his quarterback. That's another. No, that's foolishness. I still don't understand that. They're trying, but it just ain't working.
Right.
But when it comes to Trey, I'm just like, so say they can franchise tag him again, or they can tag him next year. So you either don't pay, you don't play and you don't get paid, or you get this astronomical number, or we could probably, hopefully reach a long-term deal, which, like you said, would be more, and then or trade asset. What if Trey gets hurt this year? I know 2 17+ sack seasons looks good consecutively. You hope he can do it again this year. But what if he gets hurt? Because I don't see much on this defense that's going to change anything that's been happening the last 2 years. They missed the playoffs the last 2 years.
Yeah, and one of those was because Burrow was hurt. But last year is the perfect example. The offense probably couldn't have been any better than it was, and it still wasn't enough.
Wasn't enough. You literally, if the defense can get to middle of the pack, they might be able, because they were a game away from making it to the playoffs. Yeah, it's true, but you still missed it. These slow starts kept killing them, and your defense is Swiss cheese. You're going to be in a shootout again for a whole season.
It's a lot. It's a lot to ask. And then what if one of your receivers gets hurt? What if Burrow gets hurt? Right? Like you're relying a lot on basically 3 guys to carry your entire team, and you could say 4 for Trey, but no matter how good Trey is, the defense still sucks. So it really is just those 3 guys.
Hey, take 17 sacks and put it somewhere where it matters. Put that on Baltimore, put that on Kansas City, put that on Buffalo. That's the difference between probably a Lombardi and missing it. I'm just saying, 17 sacks, and that got wasted 2 years in a row. Wasted. Yeah. I understand the money part. Get your money, get your bread. I understand. So that's a victory on his part. And also, play chicken with him. Tag me, okay. Well, how far can we take this? Because if you pay the tag and you see the average of the top 5 at that position at the end, that'll be a nice 1-year deal as well. So I don't hate that for him as well. I know people want the long-term security, but I think a little 35 million one time for the one time.
Yeah, no, that's the thing. The owners always have the leverage of the tag. So there's always that, but my main concern with the tag is either you're doing it to trade them, or
Yeah.
you're kicking the can down the road, which ends up meaning you're gonna, in the long term, pay that guy more with 1 year more on his career already. So Trey's already relatively on the older side.
He is.
You want to pay him more money when he's older. That's
No.
kind of the position you're pushing yourself in when you just tag him without a plan on what you're going to do with him.
I agree with you 100 because like literally I feel everything that you're saying about it. I'm just playing devil's advocate that Mike Brown, in the way that he operates, says I can, like, if this guy gets hurt, then I can justify moving this type of way and find trade value and say, for this older pass rusher, yeah, he, man got injured, but hey, man, the guy was putting up 17 sacks on a Swiss cheese defense. Add him to what you got. Hey, we can make a trade. I just think the guy slime ball. He could move real slimy like that.
Oh, so you're saying he might be hoping that Trey gets hurt so that way that he can justify moving him?
Yeah,
that's true.
Because
the problem is that makes him less valuable trade capital then after that.
But it justifies you not making sure that he doesn't get that big payday from you as Mike Brown.
Right.
He's not.
That's true. It's like the fan base isn't going to look at you as sideways after that.
Yeah, because then they can justify older pass rush, injury. Okay, I understand. Maybe it's time to cut bait. We squeezed this lemon enough. He's got paid in two, so let's move on. I'm just saying, Mike Brown. I wouldn't put it past him to move in a real slimy, janky promoters type of way. That's what I'm
saying. That is true. I mean, yeah, that's just what owners do. And
hey, what was that janky promoters with Mike Epps and Ice Cube? It's crazy, but yeah, that's what kind of remind me of that. That'd be Mike Brown. But yeah, it's crazy, man. Hey, these guys getting hella bread. But let's talk about something else, man, because the gusto and the meat and potatoes of this show, man, and some quarterback decisions got made, and let's start over in Indianapolis, man.
We talked about that one day too early. If I had stayed on Tuesday,
we
would have had this show the day the decision was made.
Yeah,
so we get to have that talk now.
That's crazy. Mm-hmm. I mean, you obviously, you being a Giants fan, you know what it is to have Daniel Jones as your starting quarterback.
I still have nightmares. I still wake up in cold sweats thinking about it. Bro, thanks for reminding me.
Hey, you did get a playoff win over Minnesota. If that kind of eases the pain a little bit.
That is true. There was that 1 year I had hope. That is true.
Yeah, if that eases the pain, but no, man. Yeah, like you said, we kind of literally just had that conversation, and boom, within probably like a 12-hour span, it drops. Daniel Jones starting QB1. Man, go ahead, drop your take about this. What's going on in your head about this situation?
So my take last week was that I thought that they should start Anthony Richardson, and the reason why was because they both suck, but Anthony Richardson has the potential to either figure it out and become your guy with more reps, or if he's going to be bad, he's going to be so historically bad, like he has been, that you end up with the first overall pick and can replace him with your choice. As opposed to Daniel Jones, who has been sold, and I know that I said this last week without really thinking about it that much, because this is kind of how the media campaign for him has been, that, yeah, he doesn't have Anthony Richardson's ceiling, but he has a higher floor. Does he really have a higher floor, though? I started thinking about it, and his record doesn't really reflect that he even has a higher floor. The last 2 years, he's won 3 of his starts through the combination of the last 2 years. He went 1-6 and he went 2-9 in the last 2 years for the games that he started. And he's also been crazy injury prone, just like Anthony Richardson. I'm not sure that he is raising the floor. He's just lowering the ceiling. Anthony Richardson has hold on. What Anthony Richardson's let me look at Anthony Richardson's starts. I know that they won 8 games last year, but I know that Flacco started a lot of those.
That completion percentage is in the tank. That's something that you just can't get by.
Anthony Richardson has an 8-7 career record. I don't think his floor is necessarily lower than Daniel Jones's is.
Yeah.
So you're just getting a ceiling lowerer, and that's it.
Hey, Juju Bean, yo, my man, they called you Eric, right?
The man's hiding the way that he looks because he knows that I'm going to be able to clap back, bro. Get that J off the screen.
That's crazy.
That's funny, though. It's not the first time I got it, though. You stole that from Bones.
Hey, Eric Wright he be tripping, bro. But nah, go ahead, man.
Yeah, so, I mean, yes, Anthony Richardson has a historically low completion percentage. He's, at this point, been a historically bad quarterback. Daniel Jones has also been a horrible quarterback in different ways, but he's also been horrible.
I hear you. Yeah.
I do not think that you are getting any benefit at all from starting Daniel Jones. If you're starting him, he did not look good in all of preseason. He's looked mostly bad. And again, this is a 6-year vet playing against defenses made of mostly rookies and backups. So you as a 6-year vet who's won a playoff game before can't look good against rookies and backups. And that guy's the guy you're starting because you're trying to win as many games as possible now. First of all, I think that's dumb. That's funny. First of all, I think it's dumb to try to win as many games as you can right now if you don't think you have a chance to make the playoffs. And they don't. They don't have a chance to make the playoffs. It's not going to happen. If you're smart, you'll do what you can to get the best draft pick possible. You're not going to prioritize trying to scrape together 2 extra games right now. I know that everyone's like, oh, coaches don't tank. Well, they should because it's stupid not to. But on top of that, I don't think that Daniel Jones does actually secure that for you. Again, he's won 3 starts through the past 2 years. I don't think he's putting you in a position where you're going to win more games necessarily or definitively than you would with Anthony Richardson, even at Anthony Richardson's current level, let alone at his potential ceiling.
Well, I hear what you're saying, because I can definitely see your point of view, and just to add on, just the fact that he was a first round pick. Like usually first round pick, you exhaust all options to make sure that the guy succeeds, and you give him or you wear out your opportunities for him. Like you literally do. Like, all right, so we're going to try this. We're going to add this, or, take this away, or, you trying to do this, kind of combination around him and trying to get the right pieces and build a core around him as best as possible and give him all the opportunities. That's what usually happens when you're a first round quarterback, more times than not, especially in top 5. So, look, he'll get another opportunity. You know why? It's Daniel Jones. All right. And he'll get another opportunity. All right. Daniel Jones literally will have to fight him off by literally playing the best football in his life. He would literally have to be in a Sam Darnold type of situation to keep Anthony Richardson off the field. That's the only way this happens. And if we think that's going to happen, I'm not a bet man. I'm not a bet man, but yeah, I don't see that kind of resurrection with Daniel Jones. But
And I also don't think this is the team to make that happen either. I think the circumstances for
I really disagree with you. I think that defense is a sleeper that people might kind of want to,
okay, let me make my point. Sam Darnold had that resurgence because he had a QB whisperer head coach,
yes,
and he had
a good defense.
Justin Jefferson, TJ Hawkinson, Jordan Addison, Aaron Jones, and an elite defense led by Brian Flores. He had at least 2 really good O-line bookends. He had a great situation.
Mm-hmm.
Geno Smith had a Hall of Fame head coach in Pete Carroll and a ton of weapons in DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, and Jackson Smith and Jigba. But again, another very good situation. Yeah. Daniel Jones is going to be walking into an okay situation. The O-line, although with Will Fries gone, we don't know if the O-line's going to be as good, but it shouldn't be like bad. Weapons group, solid. It's no Justin Jefferson, Addison, Hawkinson, and Jones, but it's a solid weapons group. Great running back. The secondary has had a lot of work on it for the defense, so the secondary should be good. The defensive line, I mean, they had a pretty low-ranking defense. I'm actually going to pull up the defensive rankings from last year.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, Tyler Warren is
Warren also, yeah.
I love what that tight end. He might do something. If
they were the 4th worst defense in the NFL last year total.
I hear that,
and it should be better than it was after adding like Travarius Ward.
Yeah,
but
it goes badly.
Yeah, but it's not going to be the Vikings defense. It's not going to be the Seahawks defense, and those.
That's fair.
Yeah, like those defenses for those quarterbacks that have those resurgences. Like you're not walking Baker Mayfield. You're not walking into a Baker Mayfield situation with Mike Evans, Chris Godwin. Like it's not the same. Tristan Wirfs.
I hear that, but do we forget they got Jonathan Taylor? He's still a damn good running back. Are we acting like he don't exist?
I mentioned him. I said they had a great running back, but
yeah. And don't sleep on AD Mitchell, all right? Don't sleep on him.
That's a lot to turn Daniel Jones into a good quarterback with. Like I don't know if that's enough to be like, okay, this team can. This is why I think because bad quarterbacks or quarterbacks you don't believe in can still win games in great situations, right? Like in my predictions, not saying JJ McCarthy's going to be bad. I don't know that, but JJ McCarthy is going to be essentially, fundamentally a rookie, functionally a rookie, going into a great situation. I have them going 11-6 with him because the situation is that good. I don't think the Colts have a situation like that.
To be fair, you're in the AFC South. That division is, if you're winning it with 9-7 for the last 2 years for Houston Texans, I don't think that's, you got to be like, that's middle of the pack. That's literally some middle of the pack winning a division for the last 2 years. Like, we can't run on that. 9-7 is a very average football team.
True, but I don't think there's any chance they win the division because the Texans have by far the best quarterback in the division. They have possibly the best defense in the entire NFL. They have a really good weapons group. The O-line is like their only weakness. The Colts have almost everything as a weakness except running back and maybe secondary. So not the weapons group is good, but you're asking a lot. You're asking a lot for everyone else to carry Daniel Jones, and I just don't think they have that kind of team.
I mean, we'll see. I hear you. But they
basically can't. I just want Daniel Jones to fail. That's a lot of that is motivated strongly by that. But I also think I'm right.
I mean, they went 8-9 last year, so I hear what you're saying. So anytime you got Daniel Jones in there, they're probably going to be less than 8. So we'll see. Yeah, but Anthony Richardson will get another opportunity, and just because, especially if he gets exactly what you wish for a bad Daniel Jones, he'll definitely get an opportunity at least by week 4. So, but here's the thing: if you replace Daniel Jones with Anthony Richardson, and then if you have to go back to Daniel Jones, he will not be in the Colt uniform this year.
No.
He just can't be.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Shout out Juju Bean. He says coach schedule ain't that crazy if they have a chance at making a playoff push with Daniel Jones. Richardson isn't playing.
They don't have a chance at making a playoff push. It's not happening. It's get that hopium out of your veins. It's not happening.
Not at all.
Not at all. They have no. I have them being a winless team. I have them being the.
I don't know. I can't do that. Hold on. 8-9 to 0-17 is wow, Randy.
Okay. Richardson is a freak that can throw it downfield sometimes and win just because of that, which was the case for some of those. And most of those were won by Joe Flacco, who's a vet who won a Super Bowl, right? And like, not that I think that Joe Flacco is a great quarterback, but I trust Joe Flacco more than I trust Daniel Jones.
Yeah. I mean,
and even if they're not winless, I don't think anyone expects them to be as good as the Texans. And, think about all the teams in the AFC. The AFC is the harder of the two conferences.
No, I get that, but look at their division. I don't think they're. I mean, if they went 8-9, they can compete with the Texans if they ain't winning that with 9-7. Or my fault. 10-7 and 9-7 the year before. Or was it 9-8 or
9-8? Yeah. Do you think the Texans are still a 9-8 team though? The defense has been even further improved. The weapons group now is younger, so they should be all on the field.
I hear that. And then you look at come on, Jacksonville.
Yeah, I don't believe in Jacksonville either.
Tennessee.
So. Well, that depends a lot on Cam Ward.
Yeah,
so that's kind of a TBD.
First of all, Cam Ward is going to have to play Super Cam like every Sunday, literally.
Does he, or does he just have to be better than Daniel Jones? I think he can be better than Daniel Jones. I believe in him enough that he can be better than Daniel Jones.
Oh no, I think Cam Ward's going to be excellent. All I'm saying is that his excellence sometimes is going to get wasted because he doesn't have it around him. He just lost a running back, Tyjae Spears. There's some, they already got rid of the guy they did drafted at wide receiver, Burks. They already released him. He didn't pan out, and so it's kind of like it's.
Yeah, the situation's not great for him either, but
Calvin that's pretty much it.
They did have the second best. Is this total or just passing? They had the second best total defense, second best pass defense in the NFL last year. They still have L'Jarius Sneed. They should be able to. They shouldn't be significantly worse on defense than they were last year. So, if they're able to be at least relatively the same defense they were last year, and Cam Ward is a good quarterback, and the O-line also looked significantly improved, I think they should be better than the Colts.
Well, I mean, you got to just be better than 3-14. They can definitely do that with Cam. But I'm just saying, like, he's going to have to play Superman to even get them to 5-12.
That's true. And granted, he was playing with a lot of people who got cut in the preseason who were dropping his passes and messing up his stat line. But now he'll be playing with the starters. We'll see.
Showtime. Juju says I don't think they're making the playoffs, but they might be close to 8 if Daniel Jones doesn't completely fuck it up in that case. Yeah, plan to win. for most of the season. I hear that.
He's
So-
gonna completely fuck it up though. So yeah.
He said, "But you ain't wrong." He said, "But you ain't wrong. They both garbage." I just think they have a really solid defense. I see. That's what I'm. And shout out to my man, C. Lou. He definitely knows his stuff about the Colts. That's a team. He literally follows them and critiques and watches a lot of film on them. And
Is he a Colts fan?
yeah. But he watches a lot of film. But he watches a lot of film on the whole NFL. Like he just loves ball. Shout out to C. Lou. So, but yeah, man. I can't. When he said 0-17 last week, I was just like, I don't know if I'm like, damn, like they are not in the Saints situation at all. And speaking of Saints, who that named a quarterback, and man, I think that's very telling. Because it's definitely going to lead to the last quarterback we talk about, but I think it's very telling. I'll let you ride out on it, man. Go ahead and talk about it.
I think it's very funny. I I have a Saints fan at work, and as soon as I saw the news, I like turned around and was like, "Yo, did you hear?" And he was like, "Yeah, like yeah, it's Spencer Rattler, they suck." And like then he just went back to working. I feel like a lot of Saints fans probably had that exact same reaction, and that's very fair. Yeah, second round pick, and he didn't even make the starting team. I bet Shador would have. I bet and granted, we're gonna criticize Shador. I'm gonna criticize Shador.
Hey, it said 4-12 with DJ.
That's generous.
That's crazy. What's up? Shout out to Omar Ball and Buzz, man. Shout out to them. Nah, go ahead, big dog. My bad.
yeah, no, all good. Yeah, no, we're gonna criticize Shador. I'm gonna criticize Shador. We're gonna talk about him, but I think he would have been good enough to beat Spencer Rattler. You know, you spent a second round pick on a quarterback. Everybody knew that it wasn't because you thought he was the better player than Shador Sanders, but because you had issues with Shador Sanders off the field. Everybody was well aware of that. Technically he's a 5th round pick, but nobody's confused to the fact that he was obviously graded as the second best quarterback prospect. You take another quarterback anyway, and now you're not going to start him. And yeah, like that's the situation I guess you would expect when you make a move like that.
Well, I mean, yeah, I couldn't beat out Spencer Rattler. Damn.
Who was a 3rd round pick. He wasn't even a 2nd round pick. He was a 3rd round pick. You still couldn't beat him.
Damn. You couldn't beat out Spencer Rattler. You know.
Who was not good either, by the way. It's not like you were beat out by this guy who massively overperformed. He didn't look good either, and you still couldn't beat him.
Yeah. You can beat out Spencer Rattler? No.
How do you feel about my winless take for the Saints? I know you disagree with the one.
Oh, no. Oh, you get no disagree. What? You get 0 disagreements. Look, they lucky they got 5 wins last year.
Yeah.
Look, I get they're gonna have to move Alvin Kamara. Might as well start moving chips. Look, I feel bad for Chris Olave. That man was getting some ambulance football stone in preseason.
Mm-hmm.
That man almost ended up in a hospital, hurt again. Exactly. I don't know if I don't know if I trust Kellen more to run a football team offensive coordinator, cool. Run a team, I don't know. Yeah. Look, we'll see. And this has 0-17 written all over it. And if I was Alvin Kamara, I would like, hey man, I can't do this no more, bro.
Yeah, bro. I mean, they could absolutely get something if they trade him for sure. Like get just because of his age, maybe a 3rd round pick, but like get stuff. You need stuff.
Yeah,
You need cheap stuff too. You need stuff that's not going to eat at your cap anymore. Get some more stuff.
If I was Cam Jordan, hey man, it was real while it was great. Hey man, I'm 36. Let me get up out of here, bro.
Yeah, follow Ryan Ramczyk and peace out for real.
Not for real. I'm DeMario Davis. Hey man, I love y'all. I'm 36. My opportunities coming. Yeah, man. Let me get up out of here, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already moved off of Lattimore, so that was a solid piece. That was part of the organization. Start getting assets back, get picks back. You're already in. You already proclaimed it. You're getting Arch Manning. So the Manning name comes back to New Orleans. Build something around him with capital. Get picks so that you can build your fortress for Arch Manning. Make it plush for him. That's all I'm saying. And stop playing. Like, send Alvin Kamara to one of these teams that got the cap room and willing to give you a whole bunch of picks for them. Because there's a team out there.
Yeah.
For it. Like, come on. Now.
For sure. And because I love narratives. I would love if Arch Manning ended up assuming Jackson Dart works for us and we don't need one anymore. I would love for Arch Manning to go to where Archie Manning played if he ends up declaring. If not, though, you have a really nice quarterback class ahead of you. Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik. They got some pretty promising prospects, and if they get that guy on a rookie deal, which he's gonna be, you should be able to find the cap space to start building around him.
Yeah, because if he couldn't beat out Spencer Rattler, he ain't it, and we know Spencer Rattler ain't it.
Yeah. I still think about this play because I was at a friend's house when it happened, and my boy doesn't even watch football like that, but I had football on TV, and it was against the Broncos, and I don't know if you remember this because I shared it when it happened. The play where he accidentally bounced into his offensive lineman and then fumbled the ball and then crawled trying to get it back, and it ended up being a scoop touchdown. That is my memory of Spencer Rattler. So it got negated by a flag, but it's still the most important play of Spencer Rattler's career so far.
Boy, the Saints has been down, but Saints has been down bad, and we also ain't gonna cap that. Even with Sean Payton, yeah, they got that one Super Bowl, but there was some times they was missing some playoffs. Not fake fun, but let's move on because that situation is laughable because, like you said, could have beat up Spencer Rattler, but round threes, man. Joe Flacco, Dylan Gabriel, Drew Sanders. That's their 3 quarterbacks. I just think I'm going to be honest, bro. I think it's crazy that the Browns are getting this much attention from the whole football world. This is crazy. It's just crazy. And never in my life where I thought I'd be alive that the Browns were getting this much, coverage. And I understand because of the situation with Shador. But here we are, man. Go ahead, drop your takes, drop your bombs on this situation, bro.
Okay, so I think we've been pretty strong Sanders apologists on this show for a little bit, and we've been banging the table saying that Shador should have been the second quarterback off the board. It's crazy that Shuck, especially Shuck, obviously Dart's been the best quarterback in preseason, so he's earned to not be in that conversation anymore.
Yeah, no, he's removed.
Yeah, and I'm glad that they didn't listen to me and they got him. They were right. I was wrong. But Shuck, Milroe, and Gabriel, we were pretty clear that there was no reason for any of them to be picked ahead of them. There was no reason for Shador to fall to the 5th round based off of them as football players. It was just them having issues with his off the field stuff, and that has its own elements of a lot of different things, including being an outspoken black man, Deion Sanders, all, and not necessarily being the clear prospect where you're going to take him anyway because he's that damn good, the way that his dad was. There's all of that. And Shador had the best non-Jackson Dart quarterback game in all of preseason, his first attempt. He looked phenomenal. Gabriel came in for the next game, and he looked like ass. Then this past game against the Rams, Gabriel comes in and looks pretty good. High completion percentage, gets a touchdown, no turnovers like he had the last outing. He looked significantly better than he looked against the Eagles. Then Shador Sanders comes in and he gets sacked 5 times and loses more yards than he gains throughout the game. Now, I still think that he should have been in the 2-minute drill. I do not understand the decision to have Tyler Huntley in the 2-minute drill because they ended up cutting him anyway 24 hours later. And they were always going to cut him, and they had to know that. So why you'd give the 2-minute drill to him is baffling. So it's a lot of it's complicated, right? Because I think multiple different things. Shador had a bad game. There's no going around that. He had a bad game. He performed significantly worse than his competition in the same game. Yes, he was playing behind bad offensive linemen, that most of which ended up getting cut, but so did Gabriel, and he played much better behind that O-line. Tyler Huntley even looked better behind that O-line because he had the game-winning drive that led to the field goal. Shador basically had a disastrous game, but that was also after having the best game of all of them the first time. So I think logically, depending on how reliable you think this version of Shador is versus that version of Shador, this should tie his race with Gabriel because they both had performances where they outperformed the other. They both had good performances and they both had shit performances. Shador had the best one and he also had the worst one. Gabriel looked bad, but then he looked good. I think that a lot of people have been saying that Shador has been sabotaged. And I don't think that that's the explanation for why he played badly in this game. Because, again, Gabriel and Huntley both had the same offensive line. Shador's biggest issue in college was taking a ton of sacks and losing a ton of yards, holding on the ball too long. He seems to have shaken all of that in the first game. He was able to extend plays with his legs. He was able to avoid pressure. He showed a lot of athleticism, which was another concern with him with the draft scouts. So he looked basically like he had proven all of the haters wrong. And then he proves all of them right by having the absolute worst version of what your biggest concerns would be of Shador this past game. That being said, I don't think he was sabotaged, and I don't think that that's why he performed as bad as he was. But I do also think that he was put in a position where he was going to fail because Stefanski clearly didn't want him. The owner most likely is the reason why they ended up picking him. They did not put him in a position to succeed by giving him the most individual attention because he was splitting reps with 5 different quarterbacks. And also, it was a good decision for them to trade Pickett to the Raiders, which ended up also happening today. But that should have happened a while ago because then you could have given more reps to your rookies. I think if they had focused on Shedeur more, given him more reps, and tried to give him the attention you would give a quarterback that you want to succeed, he could have been better, but it is also on him that he was as bad as he was. And I don't think that there is a legitimate excuse for it. I don't know if he should be QB2 or QB3, but given how bad the game was, it's hard to blame it on just hating Shedeur Sanders at this point that he's QB3.
Hey, man. 5th round. Look, we know he shouldn't have been 5th round, but he was. All right. And they're going to treat a 5th round guy. He's not going to get as many opportunities as the 3rd or the veteran guy that's been there and has a Super Bowl on his resume. That's just, he's going to have to earn his lumps. Kevin Stefanski is treating him old school. And that's just kind of how I see it at this point. Like, and trust me, those other things and those other elements, putting in the best situation, obviously with that, for the guys getting cut, except the center was the only one that got survived. So, what are some sacks that you can put on score? Yeah. Look, did the same thing in Colorado. He did not have the greatest O-line situations in Colorado. He held on to the ball and you keep running backwards. Can't do it. Throw it away.
Nope.
Work on it. Yes. So this is just us being football fans and being fair. Yeah, we love Shedeur. Like any other people that love Shedeur. Love the Sanders family. But I'm keeping a buck that you should have been working on that in the off season of just getting away when you feel that pressure, pockets collapsing, or I understood he probably didn't trust stepping up in some of those situations because he felt like, hey man, as soon as I step up, I'm probably still getting hit anyway. So I get it, but you can't keep running backwards in 20 plus yards and possibly losing a fumble because those are situations that happen like that in Colorado. Keep running backwards and start losing turnovers. You think they're gonna start really putting trust and faith in you? Then you start having turnovers. Come on. So you can't do that at quarterback position. So that's definitely something he has to absolutely be determined to fix that. 100% agree with you. But look, he's going to get an opportunity because we don't know. The guy's 40. All right. It takes one nice good sack for Joe Flacco to be sacked on the couch again. All right. He's 40. These are too many great elite pass rushers. We think Joe Flacco about to get untouched. He's not mobile. Come on. You know what happens to guys who are immobile in that quarterback position?
Right.
Okay. There's going to be opportunity. I'm not wishing anything harm on him, but there's going to 17 games. We're expecting Joe Flacco, 40-year-old, play 17 games.
Right.
Tom Brady's the anomaly. All right. Don't get that out your head, y'all. Tom Brady is an anomaly. Not every 40-year-old is going to be out there and produce. Aaron Rodgers still has enough good arm talent to still produce at 40. He's another small anomaly. I ain't gonna give him too much. Small anomaly. All right.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, I don't think even the Browns think that Flacco's going to play well, even though the last time he was with the Browns, he played well for a few games. I don't think that's the reason to put him in. I think they're putting him in because the NFL is moving in the direction of let's have our rookies sit behind a vet because we've seen it work. And I think that's just the only logic of it. Like, yeah, we're going to lose games. We don't expect Flacco to play well, but either Gabriel or or Sanders can sit behind him and learn, and that's why he's there.
I wouldn't be surprised if both get opportunity.
I think so too. That's probably they want to know if they need to take a new quarterback in the next draft or not, and I think that makes the most sense is to give them both a chance.
Shout out to Bobby G. He said that the last week. You know, I know he said it tongue in cheek. He was like, the less games that Joe Flacco plays, the better chance that we can get an opportunity to see what we have to see if it's worth it. Because and unfortunately, say they hypothetically get in a situation, they start winning 7-8 games. That's not good, if you ask me. Right. You know, that's what Bobby pointed out. Hey, if that's the case, then how do I know what I have? Because you can't just lay down if you're in a playoff contention. You're going to turn your fan base again.
No, and I agree, and that's what I said the same thing about Jackson Dart, because there's a lot of different opinions over whether we should start him over Russ at any point in the season if he's going to be ready, or if Jameis Winston should be the one to come in. What?
Did y'all hang on to Jameis?
Yeah, we still have Jameis. And I think that's the reasoning why is they kind of expect to, if Russ is really bad or gets hurt, to have Jameis go in to make sure that Dart's ready when he goes in. And I do think that they shouldn't force him in just because of what our record looks like. They should put him in when he's ready. And that being said, though, just like Bobby said for Shedeur and Dillon, we need to know what we have in Jackson. So we need him to start some games so we can get a good idea of if we still need a quarterback.
Yeah.
I agree with Bobby on that for sure.
Yeah, he was he's like, hey, man, if you just play one game, I'm okay.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, hey, you got to figure it out, especially when especially if you expect to have a high draft pick, right? Like, yeah, but also let's put it in perspective. You never buy the jersey of the Cleveland Browns quarterback because you like. And you here today, gone tomorrow, bro. You're not starting no more. Yeah. So it's they got so many jerseys over the years. They played that position, and he's like, look, you gotta find out, especially. So we'll see. Hey, man, good stuff, brother, man. Always appreciate it, man. Y'all know where to find Randy. If you need some audio needs, go to Panther on Acid. Instagram, of course, tap in with us I.O.W Sports Network on all social media platforms. And if you can't find me there, just go over to my Twitter page, AC1 Chimera, and just see what I'll be talking about, yapping my mouth about. But other than that, man, appreciate you, Randy. Always a pleasure. Hey, we out of here. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. I'll let y'all tomorrow. Peace.
Yeah. Silent Hill TDS, what's up? Yeah, come on. I.O.W Sports Network, late night edition. Let's go. Come on.
We about to raise the bar. Wild card mark. Everybody grab a seat, cause you know we about to spark. Late night sports talk. Modelo Le Cigar. Man, you don't wanna start. Wild card mark. We about to